All right, fight fans, coming from the Caveman Studios in Buffalo, New York. Welcome to Caveman Corner with your host, Jeff. Dent.
Or you still say my name wrong every time, Ray. Jeff Denz, D-E-N-Z, Denz. We've been friends for like 5 years on Facebook, and you still can't say my name.
And we picked the video with the wrong name.
I don't know what Ray's laughing at. Ray's a mess over here. He was in charge of this opening, and it's completely fucked. So we're off the rails to start with, just like the UFC.
Yeah.
What do you think about the UFC last night, Ray?
I couldn't. I was trying to steal it, but I couldn't do it because, it's not like it used to be. Nowadays, it's a little different.
I bought it, Ray. You should have came over.
I know. But that was crazy, man. Conor McGregor, going crazy.
He didn't really go crazy. I think Khabib's the one that went crazy.
Yeah, but he started, though.
He didn't start it.
He was talking about the man's family, talking about the Muslim.
Oh, yeah, you mean like the lead up to it? Yeah. He was the lead up to it. If you hear anything in the background, that's Ray's kid. He's just messing around right behind me. Playing with the dog.
He's going to get a whooping when we get home.
Yeah, we're off the rails. Ray's a terrible dad. He's leaving him in here to be corrupted by us. Sorry, little Ray. You're in trouble. He's smiling at me.
Yeah, the dog looked bored.
Yeah, the dog's like, oh my God, I just want to fart in peace. I usually don't let him in here because he keeps farting in the podcast, and then the room stinks.
Oh, yeah.
Because I leave the door closed and I walk out, and then you open it up and it smells like dog fart in here.
You got to feed him some real food.
I feed him the hookers from your trunk. What are you talking about?
She must have had a yeast infection.
Oh my God! All right, let's get back to UFC.
We're getting out of hand.
We're way off the rails. So, what did you think about the whole situation, the whole melee?
A lot of people I see on Facebook is don't care about it. There's like Conor started talking shit, so what the hell,
I see it a little bit different. I think a lot of people are like, Khabib should be stripped of the title. I must have more Conor McGregor fans than you.
Yeah, must be. But I'll say it like this, because he came on a press conference and was talking about you shouldn't talk about fights, you shouldn't talk about people's family, you shouldn't talk about religion or whatever. But listen, dude, this been going on for years in the fight game. You go to talk about it's talking shit is part of the business.
What do you think about throwing a dolly though?
That was part of the business. That was promoting.
But it hurt people. You don't think Conor McGregor should be punished for that?
He should.
He was punished for that, by the way.
By the way, he got arrested, yeah.
He was fined and suspended for a while, but it didn't really matter because he wasn't fighting anyways.
Right.
But he did pay a fine for it, and he still got civil suits against him for that.
Right.
But guys like Ray Borg, whose son is going through a lot of medical expenses or whatever. I mean, if you listen to Joe Rogan podcast, you know that. Going through a lot of, family strife, and he lost his fight because of that, so that means he doesn't get paid. So it affected a lot of guys. And, Conor McGregor makes that loot, so, they should get some of that money, I think.
I think what it would come down to is the UFC needs to be there for the fighters with sponsorship and...
yeah, that Reebok deal really fucks the fighters.
Yeah, so, I think UFC is part of the problem.
A little bit. What do you think? Do you think what Khabib did was justified?
I mean, listen, talking shit and putting on shows is part of the game, the fight game. So can't do nothing with that. You won the fight. Why are you going after a cornerman for?
Yeah.
Coming out of the cage, you going after a cornerman.
Even if the cornerman talks some shit about him, like it doesn't.
Yeah, matter. You won the fight. You probably would have, Conor McGregor probably would have gave you, shake hands after the fight.
I don't think they would have shook hands after the fight. No, but, it's a lot different than jumping over the cage and starting a huge melee. And it actually looked like Dane and Dennis beat him up a little bit when he jumped over the cage.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of it you saw, but it looked like he was losing, So that wasn't such a good showing for him. But Danius is bigger, and he jumped over the cage, so he's got people grabbing him. And so, it's hard to tell, but I was a little sick, too. Plus, he just fought for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Now, how Conor look on the first round.
I thought Conor looked great. I think he was the first guy to really shut down Khabib's his ground and pound game because he was able to stay up against the cage, hold him there. I thought he looked really good. And then the second and third rounds, or the second round especially, Khabib really just tore McGregor apart.
Hey. He's definitely getting a whooping.
Yeah, he's going to get a whooping. He's shaking his head no. Third round. Okay, so the second round is the round that he got smashed, right? Anyways, I was really into it, so it ended in the fourth round. So that had to be the second round he got really smashed in. The third round he came out a little bit better. I thought he won a round. He was starting to touch Khabib. Khabib dropped him. I don't know if you saw that.
I seen that.
Yeah, that right hand.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I thought the fight was going to end with him getting knocked out. But Khabib had more tools to win. He was a favorite, and he ended up winning. I think Conor looked really good. I don't think the layoff had anything to do with it.
He didn't look tired.
He looked tired, but Khabib was mauling him. It's not because he was tired, because he was out of shape.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, if Khabib...
I wanted to ask you that because people saying he kind of looking tired, so I wanted to ask you, because you know the difference between out of shape tired and then getting...
I think he's... Anyone that got smashed like Khabib was getting smashed, or like getting smashed how Khabib was smashing him, would be tired. I mean, I don't know if you ever been on the bottom of a Pat Mix, but that's what it feels like. You just no space to breathe. He just pounds you. It's tough. It doesn't give you any space at all, and you get exhausted quick. Unless you've actually felt it in real life, you wouldn't know. A good example would be like if Gray's on top of you. The last podcast guest we had, Gray Hendershot, he's got a very good crushing top game too. What did you think about the other fights?
I didn't see them.
You didn't see them? Oh my God, the Pettis fight was awesome.
Now, did his corner stop the fight for that one, right? I didn't, I heard.
Yeah, his corner stopped the fight. They asked him if he wanted to go on. He didn't really answer them. But Duke Rufus he looked at him and he knows this fighter really well, and he decided to end the fight. I thought it was a pretty good call because they said he broke his hand and he was kind of getting beat up too. Tony Ferguson is just a monster. He looks so good. 6 months after major knee surgery, came back. He really, really put the pressure on Pettis. Pettis landed some cool stuff, but just too little, too late.
And then coming off a knee injury, that's like usually sloppy after that.
Yeah, Pettis cracked him early with a leg kick, and it looked like he was hurt. And then I guess he was all right after that because he really pushed the pace after that. He didn't take any more of those kind of leg kicks.
Oh, yeah.
It was so cool because while they were fighting, one of the commentators, Anik, they punched the guy, and the Pettis' blood went up over the cage, and it was all over the back of his shirt. And then they panned to it. It was pretty cool. It reminded me of when Gagnon bleeded all over me after you punched him in the mouth. That's all I could think about when I saw that. I was like, I know how mad that is because it ruins just your shirt. I had to burn that shirt. Got loser blood on me.
Caveman had his best shirt on that night.
Yeah, that purple shirt. Good thing I got a bunch of them. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That sucked. The Michelle Watterson fight was really good. I like that fight.
Is that
Karate Hottie?
Yeah.
Ooh, baby, against Felice Herring. Two awesome fighters. It was great.
I would like to have the Karate Hottie on there, Caveman. Cool.
Yeah, if you could get her. She knows Pat. Maybe we could actually get her.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's down at Winklejohn, so it's
okay.
possible we could get her maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, except she's huge and she did like all these magazines and, she's a big name, so
yeah.
You're going to have to work your magic, Ray.
I got that Latin charm.
Yeah, you got that Latin charm. If you get her, that'd be a big deal. Or Felice Herring, too. She would look great, too. Just a little bit slower than Watterson in the fight. Did you see Derek Lewis?
Oh, no. I did see the video. They say it's the best interview ever.
Yeah. Dude, he got his ass kicked. He should have lost that fight. Like 10 seconds left, he knocks the guy out.
Yeah, with the right hand.
Yeah. Ray's son's trying to mess with the board. We'll be cutting in and out. Anyways, that was a great fight. He came back, but he got his ass whooped. They say he's got something wrong with his back. So he only trains like 30 minutes a day to fight in the UFC. Can you imagine that? That's like what regular people train. Well, regular people besides for you.
Yeah. Alex Carroll?
Alex Carroll probably trains 30 minutes a month. Looks like he's having some financial difficulties. You should give the boy a bone and help him out. Give him a place to live.
He's going to sleep in my garage.
Yeah.
I put a new roof on it, so.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Are you going to have me over to try the combo hitter?
Yeah.
All right. We can make fun of Brad Kohler some more after we test the combo hitter out. Remember, we were going to do reviews on gear, and we should do a review show once.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's add to the podcast, doing reviews and interviews. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
We're Buffalo's #1 podcast for all combat-related sports.
Yeah.
So make sure you check us out. If you got some gear to sell, let us give it a try. If it sucks, we're going to say it sucks, though, so only send us good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because Caveman would throw you under the bus.
I will throw you under the bus. I like to throw people under the bus. Ray's showing his fatherhood here. It's kind of funny to watch. I wish we had cameras in here because it's great. Your son's a little terror. He's pulling everything apart in here. I love it. He's exciting to me. I remember when my kid was like, you got to turn the handle if you're going to open the door, man.
He was like, my son was like, I want to go to Caveman's house.
Yeah? He doesn't look like he wanted to come here. He's just looking at me dead stare.
He says he want to fight, too. You want to fight?
You fight Forrest. He's kind of big.
You want to fight?
Yeah, you should come to my class. I teach a kids class. It's great.
We gotta have Caveman test you out to see if you ready to start.
Yeah, see if you're mature enough, man. You got it.
Yeah, show Caveman your combination.
Ray's son's whoa! Ray's son almost punched the mirror out. Maybe back up a little bit, bro.
Yeah,
don't punch the mirror. That'd be bad if you do. It'll be glass all over.
Hey, come here. Show Caveman your 1-2.
That's a good 2. Where's the 1?
1-2.
1-2. Jab cross. I like it.
Do the leg kick.
Oh, leg kick's good. Leg kick's solid. Yeah. Looks good, man. I like it. I get you a Muay Thai class. You know, your dad helped me teach Muay Thai once. Or maybe twice. Yeah. Just don't break my wall. My walls are expensive. The studio's already crappy. We can't make it any worse.
Yeah, Daddy can't afford that.
I'm going to have to stipend his salary that I don't pay him.
I'm going to have to get a crack kid from the east side.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Fix your walls.
So, Tony Ferguson looked great. Dude, he's an intense motherfucker. I can't wait him and Khabib are going to have to fight if Khabib doesn't get suspended. Do you think they should strip the title from him?
No.
You don't?
Well, a suspension, yes, but take the title away from him? No, he won that fair and square.
I think they should strip the title from him and suspend him.
Rumor has it that McGregor just asked for a rematch.
Yeah, they were talking about a rematch. That would be good to see, but I don't think Khabib should be stripped from the title and Conor McGregor gets it, right? I just think he should be suspended for at least a year,
right? And
the title should just go up, And then when he comes back, he can have the first shot at the title again.
I agree.
For as much as everyone says it was deserved and Conor brought it on himself, he still needs to act like a professional athlete, and it just makes the sport look terrible. You know what? The governor of Vegas was in there too, and they had to escort him out of the building and protect his safety. So, there's probably gonna be some heavy stuff going on.
You know what though? Conor McGregor should know Russian people are fucking crazy.
They are. So are the Irish, dude. They're crazy. It's like gang mentality.
Listen, you saw the fans fighting? The video of the fans fighting?
No, I didn't see that yet.
The Irish lost.
Yeah.
The Russians knocked them out.
The Russians are tough, dude. And just think, because of what those two guys did, there's fights all over Las Vegas, everywhere, because of those two guys. Their actions in the cage,
Hey, man, you want to know how tough Russians are?
How tough are Russians?
When their first baby bottle is full of vodka.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of tough Russians, we should try and get Oleg Taktarov on here.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
He's a movie star, though.
Yeah, we might have a hard time with him.
Yeah, he's a movie star.
But it would be great to get him.
I'm going to let you see what I could do.
Yeah. I thought you were going to get us Big White. Gerard Goudreau. Or not Gerard Goudreau. Remco Pardue.
I didn't get in contact with him for a while, so I got to get back in contact with him. Right. He did say he would come on the podcast.
We'll get Remco Pardue, and he was a big name back in the day.
Yeah.
He was like the third best grappler for a long time. I'll ask him about that. Don't worry.
Yeah, ask him now. Don't put that on me. I don't want him choking me.
Yeah. So then we're back with Caveman's Corner again. Hopefully I'll be fighting November 10th. So we're gonna try and get as many in as we can between now and then.
Yeah.
And usually I'll take a week or two off for the fight.
I want Randy Couture on here.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna get him today. So
I want to try to get Randy Couture on here. And once I get Randy Couture on here, I don't know.
yeah, Randy Couture's a huge name because he's a huge movie star too.
Yeah.
If we get Randy Couture,
I want to hear what he got to say about the MMA because I know he got a lot to say about what happened last night. And
oh my God, I'd love to hear what he's got to say about last night. He's probably got a lot to say because he's a pretty disciplined guy himself, you know.
I was talking to Tom Eric. I texted Tom Erickson today.
Yeah.
Earlier today, and I talked to him yesterday, and we were talking about the fight yesterday. And I texted him today. I was like, "How you enjoyed the fight?" He was like, "Yeah, it was awesome." Cool.
He was one of the best interviews we've ever had on. That's one of the most enjoyable ones we've done. I like that a lot. He's a very educated guy.
Let me see if we want to come on here and talk to us.
All right. Ray's texting away like mad, trying to get us as a guest. We were going to get Randy Couture today, but I don't know. Looks like it's not shaking out. But we had Ray Henderson on today, even though Ray was pretty late for that one.
I know, right? I treat the local fighters like crap.
Yeah. If you're a local fighter and you're not a police officer, Ray might show up, but he's going to be late as fuck.
And then I'm going to bring my son in.
Yeah, he could bring your son. He's going to tear my house apart. Make my dog die. Ray's texting on his phone. Ray's really looking at porn. Ray's texting away, trying to get us a guest. Longest show ever about nothing. Walking Dead tonight, Ray. What do you think? You watch that show?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it tonight.
Yeah, Walking Dead's good. I like that show. It's the only TV show I kind of regularly watch.
Yeah, that's I like zombies. Mm-hmm. George A. Romero, the best who ever done it.
Mm-hmm. Derek Lewis, my balls were hot. What do you think about him stripping in the cage?
And then talking about Trump called him to tell him to
beat the Russian. That was pretty funny, dude. He is a funny dude. Check out his Instagram. Joe Rogan says all the time. I'm sure if you listen to me, listen to Joe Rogan too. But dude, Joe Rogan has the best podcast. He's been having some really good ones about dieting lately too. So go check him out.
I like Joe Rogan. I'll be at work listening to his podcast.
Me too. Now I listen to his podcast at work now, and that's all I've been doing. And Jordan Peterson, man, has some great stuff too. I've been listening to his lectures on the Bible. Actually, done really good stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you might like it, Ray. It's probably too smart for you though. He breaks down like psychologically about the Bible and why it's a good story and stuff. It was really good listening.
I like when they talk about Egypt and
about how old the pyramids really are. That's some crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
That's a conspiracy theory happening right now.
I didn't check out Joe Rogan. I know he had a topic about Bigfoot. I didn't check that one out yet.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in Bigfoot.
You don't?
Yeah, he wanted to believe in Bigfoot, but he did that TV show and he thinks Bigfoot's totally false. If you want to hear about Bigfoot, you should listen to Caveman Conspiracy about Bigfoot, though. And that'll teach you everything you need to know. I had a PhD on to talk about that. It was a really good podcast.
I like when he got that one scientist in there, that Tyson guy.
Oh, Neil Tyson deGrasse?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some great podcasts. Me and Forrest listen to those podcasts. Those are really good ones.
I would like to have him one day on here. I'm going to try to get that.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It'd probably be hard to do, but...
ask him about, like, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Be like, how come I'm fat?
How come I got fat in my chin?
Yeah. So how come the world's not flat? We just asked him about a bunch of conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He'll hang up on us.
He'll be like, I can't hang with two chimpanzees.
Yeah. We'll ask him if evolution's real.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What else is going on? Anything new? Got any fights coming up? Oh, yeah, that's right. You can't fight because you're eye. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. That was kind of mean.
You mean bastard.
I figured if Alex Carroll listens to this, he's got to hear at least me shoot you down once.
He always do.
Yeah, you guys got to fight still. What's going on with that?
I tried to hook, I was trying to be a nice guy. I tried to hook Alex Carroll up with a gym to train in, and he can't do it, man. He said the Chinese people won't give him breaks.
What do you mean?
I guess he worked at a Chinese restaurant or something.
What?
He works like 2 jobs. Yeah.
I can't imagine that dude working for the Chinese restaurant.
I'm gonna show you I'll show you the text.
Show me the text. Send it to me. I'll post it. That would be funny, actually. He'd get really mad at you. I can't believe you guys even talk after all the shit, guys. You talk to each other.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta understand. It was like the McGregor thing, you know. I really don't talk shit like that, Caveman, and you gave me the idea to do it. So
it was a good idea.
And then I was like,
but then you gotta show up and fight.
But then I was like, okay, let me talk crap to him. But after Carol knew it was just to promote.
Yeah, he's an okay guy, I guess.
He knew it was. He's
no Mickey Gaskins, that's for sure.
Oh, guess who wanted to come on?
Who's that?
Tom Erickson.
All right, let's give him a call. Tom Erickson, he was always the biggest name guy that never came over here and fought. He always fought in Japan.
He fought in Brazil too, right?
Yeah.
That's when he knocked out Kevin Randleman.
Yep. Yeah, he was a badass dude, man. Big hairy motherfucker. Oh. Remember they made him kickbox too? We talked about that on the podcast.
The Japanese got pissed at you, and they gonna do something to your career, man. They gonna put you in kickboxing matches, and I want to see him come back and fight Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's talk to him about that. We'll call him up right now.
We gotta talk to him about the UFC first, because we're gonna ask him about what he thinks about everything that went down.
All right, let me call him.
Okay.
Oh, no, it goes.
It's not coming through though. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Gotta plug it in, Ray.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 7.
Don't let the number come on. Ba 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 ba. Ray, we got work on this. What you're calling?
Yeah, you gotta. It's called putting it on pause until we get everything settled, and then we unpause it, and then we continue the conversation.
That's not how it works. The guy that's in charge of all the stuff like this has got to do that shit. Oh shit! This is gonna be a lot of editing for a 30-minute podcast. I'll see the one with Gray. I can just post. I don't have to edit it. It was great.
And then I came along.
Yeah, then you came along and ruined this whole thing we got going on here. It's a lot more fun with you though. Gray's like pretty serious. I couldn't get him to talk about all the crazy stuff he does. I should ask him about his pet spider. He's got a pet spider. I like spiders.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say to him. I wanted to shake his hand before I would shake his hand. I'm like, do you touch that spider with that hand?
You should have. That'd been hilarious. I forgot about it till just now, to be honest with you. That was good. It didn't take any alpha brain today. Joe Rogan would yell at me for being dumb.
When mans be putting the pictures of the spider, I'd be like, ew.
Yeah,
you should kill it.
Ray would squash it.
Nah, I'd be too scared, but I would throw something at it and run.
Throw something at it. You're a mean dude. It's just a little helpless spider.
Ew, he's ugly.
You'd never make it over in like a tropical nation.
Oh yeah, Brazil.
Yeah, like when they got spiders in your shoes and stuff, like big ones. Ew. Or like bird-eating spiders, like the kind that eat birds. Yeah. Giant ones, just walking around. Did you ever see that Facebook thing where he tries to get the spider off the wall and it jumps on him?
Nah.
Knocks the camera over? Oh, that one's hilarious.
When I went to Puerto Rico, we went to the rainforest over there, and they got tarantulas in there. I was looking around like, how ready to...
That's funny. Oh, I heard you got the Trump message, too. He told you got out of town.
Yeah.
What happened with your message there?
I don't know. Trump want to make sure say everything's safe in America. I don't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Where do you live, Mr. Mexican?
Oh, he said, try that again. My phone shut off when I tried to answer it.
All right, cool. Ray's kid's coughing to death, and Ray just shuts the door. Great parenting.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Erickson?
I'm doing good, man. I'm sorry. My phone, I was driving. My phone died. I was like, I was going to answer it. I got to plug it in. I ended up plugging it in. My fault.
It's all good. We like it, man. Thanks for coming back on Caveman's Corner. We appreciate it.
Hey, awesome, man. I appreciate it.
So what did you think, Tom Erickson? We have a former pride fighter, great athlete, the big name in MMA back in the day, biggest heavyweight around. What did you think about what happened at UFC last night?
Well, I thought it was a great fight. You know, that's kind of really polarizing, like our American politics, right? You're either this or you're that, you know, and you either want a Khabib or you want a Conor. And we got a pretty good fight, to be honest with you. I was nervous because Conor hasn't fought in 2 years. I don't care how good, tough you are, whatever. He hasn't fought in 2 years. He's got ring rust. Last time he got in the ring, literally the ring, was to box, and that's a whole different animal compared to MMA. And Khabib's had some fights in this whole time. So, you know, by the way, Khabib isn't bad. So, you know, and going in that fight, I kind of really felt that Conor was going to be in trouble because of the ring rust. And I got really, really pleasantly surprised that I thought Khabib was what he was, what I thought he was going to be, but his hands look really good. I mean, he put Conor on his butt.
He did.
I think that probably woke Conor. Well, obviously it did, but I think Conor comes back and wins the third. But you know it was a great fight. I mean, the fight was worth some of the hype coming up to it, the build up to it.
What do you think about Khabib's wrestling? You're an NCAA coach. You're a phenomenal wrestler, champion. What do you think about? Go ahead.
Look. He's got world class. I've gotten discussions with Joe Rogan about it, you know, and other people, and he's awesome. He's an elite wrestler. He's world class. World class means you've wrestled on the international stage, the world stage, and won, competed, and were very competitive on that stage. Khabib is that. He's tested on that level. You know, and all the intro stuff that the UFC was doing, Conor looked really good. I'll be honest, man. Conor looked sharp. He's hitting some nice duck unders. Good movement, some attacks. He looked really good. But here's the thing. That's practice. Khabib's done it when it's been for real, when there's live and it just becomes natural reactionary. Conor is forcing himself to drill the stuff, and it looks very good, but it's not pressure tested, if you know what I'm talking about. It's not fight tested. You know, it takes years to do, quote unquote, what we do as wrestlers. It becomes so natural for us. We do it in our sleep. You know, guys, Gira, all those guys, I remember back in the day when I was wrestling and rolling around with those guys a little bit, they just felt it was amazing how I could do it that way. I'm like, no, it's just as amazing as, you know, you hitting an arm bar on me. You guys just train that, and I just train what I train, and that's where Khabib comes from, man. He trains that stuff. He's got some skills. It's not a fluke. Guy can wrestle.
What did you think about Conor being able to stuff his initial takedowns in the first round? I thought he looked the best that he's ever looked defending takedowns, Conor McGregor.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll be honest, I was impressed with some of Conor's wrestling stuff. When they showed the little clips, I don't see all of his training. But look, when you're fresh and you know a punch is coming or you know a shot is coming, I won't say it's easy to defend, but it's easier to defend. You know, for Khabib to win that fight, he had to take Conor down and do some GMP. You know, now that's why I say that punch put him on his butt. That was surprising. But for him to dominate and win that fight, he had to put Conor on his butt. Look, Conor knows that. I mean, you can say what you want about Conor. That guy's smart. You know, he knows how to promote, and he's smart. Well, he did a great job, and, you know, I would imagine he spent a great deal of time stuffing shots, watching video. You know, one of the things, you look back at the fight, you see how he circles and stuff like that. He created really good distance, knowing a shot's going to come, so he was a little more selective when he throws his hands. That's probably why Conor didn't get off early in the fight, because he wasn't comfortable knowing that shot's coming. He was more worried about stopping the shot than throwing his hands.
Yeah, I was really, really impressed by even his wrestling from that crackdown position. I know, like, when a world-class guy gets his hands on you, how hard it is to stay up on your feet, and he was up on his feet for a long time. He's able to control his head. It looks like it's easy to do, but it's not very easy to do against the caliber of wrestler that Khabib is.
No, you're right. You're right. Like, man, you can hate Conor, man. I respect the heck out of that guy. As big as his mouth is, his training, he's equal to that. He trains. And, you know, he's watched some film. He's gotten some good wrestling people around him. You know, he must have, because, you know, he did stop some shots. But once you start getting a little tired, you start losing that focus and that emphasis point. I got to stop the shots. You know, I think the thing that really opened up when he got put on his butt, he probably started thinking, I better start throwing some punches here. And then it kind of got easier for Khabib to hit those shots, because every time you let the hands go, you can't defend. Your hands aren't down defending the shot.
Do you think it was just a matter of fatigue? I mean, Khabib has just wrestled like that his whole life. So that wrestling conditioning is him. He doesn't really get tired because that's his world. and he kind of made Conor fight in that world. Can you, being a high level wrestler yourself, can you talk about the conditioning that gives you?
Well, I mean, we do it. That's our training regime. I mean, people, the training is so specified now. It's really cool to watch how people train now. But as us wrestlers, especially those Russians, I mean, they do that, man, 24/7, 5, 6 hours a day, and training in gyms and stuff like that on their national team. I've been over in the training camps over in Russia, and it's just, constant. It's just reactionary. Someone could be at the dinner table and fake a shot on you. You're going to defend it, or he'll take a shot on you. And that's all they do. And it becomes so reactionary. And then they do it in a sparring situation and live goes. That's the thing, like I say, that Conor didn't have. And, he could train it all he wants, but it's still not live. You don't have that adrenaline dump going on at the same time we got to defend a shot. And, Conor has been out for 2 years. So the hands defending the shot and all those timing, it's not all the same, man. You can't sit out for 2 years. Nobody's that good. I'm sorry. I mean, Conor's pretty salty, but he's not even that good. You talk about rematch. That'll be a closer fight in a rematch, I think. I'll still take Khabib, but I'll tell you what, that'll be a good fight.
I thought this was a really good fight. To be honest with you, it was much better than I really thought it was going to be. What did you think about the whole melee after the fight?
Man, Dana got more than he bargained for. Look, you can't let Conor do what he did. I mean, you have to, because Conor's your breadwinner. And, Dana's going to hear this and kill me, but you can't let him do that. You got to take responsibility. You let him do that. We're only 6 months away from what Conor did to that bus, to the throwing the dolly through the minibus. 6 months. And he commits like assault and battery on somebody, on fighters, including Khabib. And he's fighting for a title. Now, Dana gets on the air, and different depending on what quote you listen to or hear, he's talking about suspending them, stripping the belt. Wait a minute. Your boy just assaulted a group of people and injured a few of them, and he gets a slap on the wrist?
And it altered the whole card, too. And guys like Ray Borg, who's got medical bills for his son and loses out on that. We have a guy that trains at Jackson Winklejohn's at our gym, and he was telling us about Borg and the problems that Ray Borg has with his son and just paying the medical bills. And he lost a fight because of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look, you have to be careful what you ask for, and he got it. I mean, that fight sells itself. I mean, it really did. You didn't have to let Conor off the leash completely. You got to keep a little leash on that Irishman. I mean, it's great. Love it. Everybody loves it. He's going to sell it for the next fight. I mean, I don't know what he's going to sell. He's going to have to take a little humble pie, just like he did with Diaz. I thought he was really impressive with Diaz after he lost to Diaz that first fight. Gave him his props, but he'll start his machine back up again. But yeah, honestly, man, let me tell you guys something. Russians are crazy. I've been over there. They're crazy. They're just as crazy as little Irishmen. And they have long memories. And, after that fight, I really believe, I think Khabib was a little shocked right after that fight that he ended it, the way he did. Look, you always want to do it. I mean, I've been in fights where, look, I'm in it to win it. I'm going to tell you I'm going to win the fight. I'm going to do this. But deep down, you're like, oh, shit, this is going to be a fight. I don't know. And then when you win the fight, you're like, oh, there's such a relief and wave that hits you. And you're so jacked up, but there's that little thing like, oh my, I actually won that fight. And then you're like, yeah, and you're starting to get that little rush. Well, if you look at him, he was calling for seconds. I don't go crazy. And then all of a sudden he started thinking, F this, man, I've won this fight. Yeah, I've won this fight. And then he started looking for Conor's boys and stuff like that through the mouthpiece, and then it was on. I mean, dude, they should have, hindsight's 20/20, they should have just tackled that dude right there. It still would have been bad, but he wouldn't have gotten the crowd anyway.
Yeah. Do you think they should suspend Khabib for that, or maybe even strip him of the title, or no?
I was thinking about that. I talked to a couple friends of mine. I said, didn't Conor jump over the fence and go after Jose Aldo?
Conor also jumped over the fence and went after a referee before in Bellator.
Right. But, I mean, just, I just go after Aldo. I mean, okay, what happened then? What were the consequences then? There's a little bit bigger melee, obviously, when Khabib did, but Conor's gone over the fence. How many fights? What I don't know the precedents. You're going to have to look at the precedents because I guarantee you everybody's going to lawyer up on this one. I mean, Dana could talk tough all he wants, but I'll tell you what, they're going to go back and reference what Conor's done and throw it right back in Dana's face.
Yeah.
You didn't do this to him. You didn't do this to him. He did this. He did this. And oh, by the way, I just talked to a friend of mine that watched the fight. I didn't see the replays. I wasn't breaking the replays down, but I guess when Conor was going over the fence, he threw the first punch at the one guy coming over, the black shirt maybe.
Yeah, they have that.
The red shirted guy.
They have the video on Facebook. I've seen it. He did throw some punches at the guy before the guy in the red shirt jumped over the cage and assaulted Conor.
Right, but wasn't Conor trying to get out of the cage too and trying to go after Khabib or follow or
that's after
near the cage?
Khabib jumped over the cage before Conor was even up off the ground, I think.
Yeah.
And then Conor went after one of Khabib's guys because Khabib was out going after Dana's.
Right. His jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the numbers got in front of Conor, like, and they're kind of swarmed, but the melee.
Yeah.
What do I think about that? That's bad for the fight game. Come on, it is. Look, I like the hype, and that's all good, but when you're starting to start chucking stuff, throwing chairs, throwing bottles, throwing things, you get melee like that, what's going to happen is somebody that doesn't deserve, somebody's going to get hurt. That's wrong.
Right. And
especially somebody who doesn't deserve to get hurt. One of the non-principals gets hurt, and all of a sudden, that's definitely wrong. I mean, look, you got to put a stop to that. Look, that I learned a lot about talking trash from Gary Goodrich because, hey, I came from amateur wrestling, man. I'm respectful. I look for a great fight, blah, blah, blah. It's an honor to fight with him. No, F that. I'm going to hand him his head, and after that, we can be friends again. I started trying to come out of my shell a little bit, and obviously Conor's the best at it. There's no doubt. And I think Khabib wouldn't be too bad, but the Russian doesn't come across. So
yeah, the language barrier is tough.
But, I'll go back to it, man. Dana, you got what you wanted, and you got a lot more than what you wanted. You let this on. You got to take some culpability in this because you let this go to a certain point. You had to know that this would go that way.
I think Khabib's going to...
two crazy people.
Yeah, they're both crazy. And Khabib's, like, serious crazy, and Conor might just be faking it for the money. You never know. It's tough to tell. Khabib's not faking it. That's all him for real.
No, I'm telling you, man. Russians, like I say, that was our competitor. That was the thing, and competing against Russians. And yeah, he wasn't faking. I mean, he was sucking it all in, and he kind of tried to jump back a little bit, talk back a little bit, but sucking it all in. But after it was all said and done, and he, like I say, watch it again. I mean, there was like, I don't know, it's a couple of seconds, 3, maybe 5, maybe not too much, where it's not shock, but he's like, yeah, I just won. Yeah. Yeah. Beat the chest, bang the chest. He walked to the center of the cage, then he turned. Then it's like, okay, now I'm going to get mine.
Yeah.
And, he sure did. And then his boy, those Russians are bad too. Okay, I got it. Conor's boys got on a plane and came over there. Let me tell you something. Russians will do the same thing. They don't forget. They will do the same thing.
I think, unfortunately, Khabib's going to end up paying the price, though, because it always looks like he's the one that instigated at the event. And I also heard that the governor was rushed out of that building because of the melee going on. Yeah, so that's... And, he's in charge of the commission, so, yeah.
How's it work in sports? How does it work? How does it work in anything? Who gets caught? Second punch.
Yeah, always.
It's always a second punch. You know what? You punch me, I throw one back at you. They see them both. I clubbed you. I'm going down. It's always the second punch. The first guy looks innocent. I mean, I think the thing that's probably the most disappointing for me, and he actually, like I say, I referenced the Diaz fight. I like, man, Conor seems like a good dude when he's contrite and just being honest. He did this, pays his respects, and moves on. We were robbed of that.
Right.
And that would have been cool. I mean, if it didn't get built up the way it built up and got to the point it was, that would have been cool to see Conor be contrite and whatever, and then start his machine up for the rematch or whatever. But just to see that and stuff like that would have been pretty cool. But that would be the most disappointing thing. Obviously, the melee was pretty bad, but that was disappointing. I'd like to see Conor. I mean, what are you gonna do? You got your butt whooped. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. I'll give you a round, but you barely won the round. And oh, by the way, you had a 10-8 round. I'd have given a 10-8 to Khabib in the second.
Yes. And the first round could be a 10-8 too with the new scoring because it's duration, damage, and domination. And he was definitely dominated for a duration of the round. So the first round with the new rules could even be 10-8.
Yeah.
It's a tough fight to call. I'm glad it didn't go to the judges. Can you imagine that? The melee might have been worse.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool for MMA in a perverted sense. But look, we need to. I think the UFC can take this right now and do something really cool with it. Look, cycle through the Lesnar Cormier fight, and then let's just get back to business. Let's do the fight business. Let's go back into setting up some great fights. Because look, we've got some. You know, whatever you're going to throw at Miocic right now, throw it at him, and then let him go back and get his title from either one of the guys. You know, whoever wins the title between Cormier and Lesnar. Let's get the weight classes. And you got to earn the titles, defend the belts, do the ranking system. Let's go back to the days where the fights promote themselves, and we don't have to create the controversy, interim this, interim that. You either fight or you don't fight. That's what we got to go back to. I don't know. I'm an old purist. That's me. I mean, that's where I'd like to see. Yeah, I like a little crap talking. Yeah, cool. All right. But at the end of the day, shake the man's hand because he busted his ass in the gym just like you did. You got him today. Tomorrow might be different, might be the same, but hey, you put the work in. I respect you for that. I'm old school, dude. I got you on that, but that's the way I feel.
If Khabib doesn't get suspended, do you think he's going to get El Cuco or what? That'll be the next fight?
I don't know. You know, but that's the thing we missed with Conor. How contrite was he? Is he looking for the rematch right away? Oh, by the way, what does the next fight hold the record for the pay-per-view buys? He was second and the greatest one? That this pay-per-view was like the second grossing or something. I don't know the numbers, but
I don't think they released the numbers yet, but it's going to be high.
Conor comes out, contrite, starts it up, respect, blah, blah, blah. And I want the rematch. You're going to give him the rematch. But we didn't get that, so you don't know. So now see, look at you. You're doing it. You're naming fighters except for the most obvious one that's going to be right there.
I am. Just because of everything that happened.
No, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. Don't get me wrong. You're right. But if Conor gets the mic and everything doesn't get crazy like it does, Conor takes the mic, okay, he goes back on his word, gives him his respect to a certain degree, and look, hey, the 2 years off cost me, but I'm back and I'm ready, and he does his little PR stuff, which he's phenomenal at, by the way. That fight comes up. We don't even talk about. We're talking about the next fight. When's it going to happen? But now we didn't get that. We had a melee. Okay, what's going to happen to this guy? What's going to happen to this? Honestly, Conor's got to get that fight again. Who else is he going to fight? There's only one other fight that may be even semi-attractive for Conor. That's the Diaz. That's the third fight with Diaz.
Or GSP. They're talking about him fighting GSP, too. That would be a huge fight in Canada.
Yeah, if they went up with the Molson Center, take it up there.
Yes. Yeah. That'd be amazing. Because I don't think GSP wants to fight Khabib.
Nope. GSP will have a slight advantage. Obviously, on the ground, he'd have a tremendous advantage, but he probably almost, Conor's done a good job on his feet, man. He's trained well. I mean, he's done what he's supposed to on his feet. He's trained. He's worked hard. I think, man, if you had to ask me, I'd take Conor in that fight, but, obviously GSP is GSP. But then again, just like I kind of mentioned earlier in the interview, talking about Conor, he hasn't fought in 2 years.
Yeah.
You got to fight, man. I'm just telling you, you got to compete. You got to do it. Wrestling, whatever. Yeah, I can be tough as all get out, but I can't just step on the mat and compete with those elite level guys. You got to train. You got to go through that. I got that Toby Keith song. I'm as good as once as I ever was, but it's tough, man. That's a whole different ball game. 5 rounds. Oh man, that's a long time.
It is a really long
ring
time.
Ring rust is legit.
What did you think about Derek Lewis? I can't. I know you're heavyweight. That's got to be someone you watch. Does it remind you of Tank Abbott a little bit?
Yeah, Tank was cool because Tank had that attitude. He just didn't care, and he kind of told you he didn't care, and he sold it that way. But, you know, hey, man, that's why you watch the big boys. They hit you hard. When they hit you, you go to sleep. You know, honestly, I thought Derek Lewis should have done a little bit more. You know, I mean, you never leave a guy in the fight. You don't even let him think he's going to be in the fight. You know, if you press him a little bit more, and you dominate the rounds, you're okay. You won the rounds. I mean, dominate the rounds, and you let him know he's not going to be there. Keep him on his heels, but don't let him think that he has that haymaker. Yeah, I know he hits hard. But man, you can't let a guy hang around. You got to dominate him. You got to let him know he's beat.
I think so
down
too.
2-0, he knows he's going to have to throw a haymaker to do it. You got to know he's beat, and he didn't do that. They didn't do that in that fight.
I really thought
then boom.
The Russian was hurt. Did you see he tried to give Derek Lewis his own mouthpiece? He didn't realize that it was his mouthpiece. I think he was a little bit out of it on his feet. I don't think he was. I think he was pretty rocked from the first round.
He hits hard.
Yeah, Volkov,
Dude, I
no
didn't
joke.
Hit by him, but I know he hits hard. I've talked to people. He hits hard. Yeah, I mean, you know, people say, "Oh, he recovered." I go, "Yeah, he recovered a little bit, but you guys don't understand. It takes a lot of wind out of your sails to recover. I mean, you know, you got to be in great shape to take a punch like that anyway. And obviously those guys are pretty good shape training and stuff like that. But you know, you got to keep the heat on people. You got to swarm them. That's why I love wrestling. I mean, gosh, because wrestling, I can bridge that gap where, you know, I'm winning a fight, but I can take you down, dominate the ground, and I can pick my spots and rest right there and just dominate and put pressure on their hips, some movement, you know, stay busy, stay active, win the round, and control the fight. But when you just kind of stand there and dance and look around and get lazy, because he was tired too, and that's why he got clipped.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little careless, boom.
Man, Derek Lewis. Have you ever seen anyone take their pants off before in the middle of the cage? This was the best UFC ever. There's so much to talk about the whole show.
Yeah, it was everything. I mean, you know, like I say, you can blame Dana. We're angry, all the stuff that happened. But guess what? Dana gets off the microphone. You talk to him when he's sitting there. If you put a mic on him when he's talking to his boys, he goes, "Man, we killed that. We killed that show. That was an awesome." I guarantee you, he's saying he that show was one of the best shows they've ever done. He won't say it in public. I don't think he'll find anybody that'll confirm that he said that in public, but I gotta think he's thinking that. If he doesn't say it to his friends, I know he's thinking it.
I'm sure
because
he says
it was. I mean, that was a great show. It had everything.
That's great, and everyone's going to be talking about it.
Hunting people down talking about it.
We are, man. Everyone is. Everyone's busy because everyone's doing exactly what we're doing today. They're going through their Rolodex. They're calling anyone they can get to come on today just to talk about what happened yesterday because it's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it had everything. It had some comeback knockouts, some submission. It had everything in there, you know. I mean, even the crank that he had on. I mean, the rounds. Break down Connor's fight. Look at that round stuff. Yeah, that was a great card. Like I said, it got out of hand, and the only reason that Dana could be pissed about that is because he's going to have to jump through some legal hoops, and it's going to cost him some coin and some IOUs on some people that he wouldn't normally have to go through. I can only imagine what it took him to get Conor out of trouble in New York.
Oh my God! Yeah, now in Vegas he's going to have to do with Khabib, and New York and Vegas are like two big, huge markets. They can't fuck up.
Right. I mean, look, they got to do something. I mean, he set the table. You got to do something. You're going to do something. Everybody watch it. But oh, by the way, there's too much money to be made on another fight. Either get them both in the ring together. I mean, whatever. When you put Conor in the ring, that's a top 10 pay-per-view event anyway. It's going to be. Now you pick the right matchup, like I say, GSP. Yeah, that would have been awesome. I mean, Diaz. You got 3 fights you give that guy, and it'd be the value for the fights are there.
Yeah, there's so much to do with
That's
them.
a neat little thing to have.
What do you think about John Jones? Do you think he snitched on everybody?
Man, I don't know, man. I don't really know John. I mean, I know there's a lot of guys I know in the business and stuff like that. Even some of the young bucks coming up and know him and things like that. And I've heard some innuendos and some stuff about John. Man, John's clock is ticking, man. You know what? He was one of the best fighters. I was impressed with him. I thought, and Daniel, I know Daniel personally. He's an Oklahoma State guy. I actually recruited him. He was on a recruiting trip when I was coaching at Purdue University, and he was coming out of Iowa Central. You know, I recruited him, and so I know him pretty well. Not really well, but pretty well. I know him pretty well. You know, Cowboys and same blood, et cetera. But, you know, I just – there was a time I thought Daniel had a chance when John came off that big, long layoff, and Daniel was fighting regularly. Like I said, I go off that ring rust. But John and all the fighters – I felt pretty good about GSP, and before he walked away, I was pretty impressed with his credentials in terms of what he did, how he fought, top game, feet, everything. I think he evolved the sport of MMA. I think John Jones was learning, man. He was all gangly and all over the place. He did a couple things well, but his game was coming into his own. I mean, he was really coming into his own, starting to dominate people. It was the fight with Gustafson, got a little scare in him, kind of got some things going. That's a tough matchup for Daniel. I mean, if he's trained up and got rid of the ring rust, tough matchup for Daniel. If I were anybody or Daniel, I'd want him right off the bat. That way I beat him. Boom. Don't let him get his timing back into it.
He looked very vulnerable when he came back against OSP. When he fought OSP coming back, he did not look like John Jones. And the next fight, he's back to being himself. One fight is all it took to get him back.
That's what I said. I talked about Connor. Look, I mean, I'm nervous. I'm not going to back off that, man. Ring rust is legit. I mean, you can't step in there in front of a big old crowd and expect to, you know, compete like you did before. And I know we expected, hey, yeah, he was tough before. Look, it's just different, man. Your body even changes. You know, you're a couple years off, your body even changes a little bit. The training, everything, it's a little tougher. Hey, this thing called age gets to you. Trust me, I know. And, you know, it gets a little tougher for him. So yeah, there's a big rush for him. Man, you don't like to see dudes snitch on people. You don't, honestly. It's just not a thing you want to go around and wear around. It's like wearing that scarlet letter. You're a snitch. You know, there's conversations and there's friends that he'll never have. And there's conversations he can never be involved in anymore because he's opened his mouth.
Yeah. And maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but the stigma of it is going to follow him now forever. People aren't going to trust him.
And you know what's funny? Because there's a lot of people, and it's funny that you snitch on people, and he probably selectively snitched on people. There's people he wouldn't do. He wouldn't do that to, but the people that he did, look, I know for a fact there's things that he's done, you know, maybe hiding under a ring or something like that, during a drug test. I
heard about that too.
He's done that people were there, that I know were there, because I've talked to the people that were there, that could have done some things to him and made him look bad, but now he's no longer in those conversations. You know what I'm talking about. You've got friends that you walk up to them, or there's people that you walk up to, the conversation changes. You're not privy to those anymore. You're not one of the boys anymore. Yeah, he's a fighter. He's good. Yep, but he's not one of our boys anymore. Gotta watch what you say around John.
Right.
And it's one of those unsaid things, you know. It's just, you know, I hate to see the unwritten rules, but it's just something. He's not part of that club, and he's going to have to earn his way back in that club because you just don't do that. I mean, I got it. I do get it. He's got to shorten it up because his window is not going to be open very long. He's not going to be able to garner that money. Hell, the weight class has moved on. Daniel's moved on, you know. Miocic, Cormier, I mean, Lesnar. I mean, there's some people out there that we're forgetting about John. But John was a bad dude. And if he gets his butt straight, you know what? I'll tell you the fight that I think that everybody would want to happen, him and Lesnar.
Do you think, I was just going to say, do you think they're going to skip over Cormier now that he can fight and give Lesnar to John Jones instead of Daniel Cormier?
Well, isn't it not a done deal between Cormier and Lesnar? Isn't that signed?
It may be signed, but they can always change it, I think, right?
Yeah, there's some backdoor money. You can't do that. I mean, I'd agree. I mean, the only thing you do is you hope that Lesnar wins the fight, and then that's going to set up John. Because that's a fight you want to see, no matter how what, man. You got two juice monkeys going at it. Whatever you want to put on it, that'd be a great fight.
I think that's the fight
Come
to
on
see.
now.
I think Cormier is going to beat him up. I don't see what Lesnar can do to him. I think Cormier is a better wrestler, and he's obviously got better striking, so what is Lesnar going to do to him? Besides for the size difference.
Lesnar's coming out aggressive early. have to, because he's not going the distance. I mean, you're not going to go 5 rounds. I mean, it's a title fight. It'll be a title fight, so that's 5 rounds. You're not going to go 5. Look, they probably both proved me wrong. That's fine. I'll come back on and apologize. I don't care. But that fight's not going to go real long. Lesnar's going to kind of come out early and try to dominate and take down Daniel and try to control him and try to finish the fight. And although I don't know if Lesnar hits technically enough to put him out. I mean, he's big and he hits probably hard, but name somebody he's hurt on his feet.
Just Randy Couture. That's the only person who's ever hurt. Legitimately a 205er. I mean, he's probably like 215 when they fought. That's the only guy.
So that's what I'm saying. Name a guy that he's hurt with his hands, and a guy that's about 275 should do a lot more damage. I know when I hit people, it hurt. and let's be honest, guys. In the beginning of my career, I wasn't a technical puncher. I never was, per se. But when I hit you hard. I mean, that's the one thing I had going. Look, I threw something, it might not have been right or whatever, but it hit hard, and it hurt. And my problem is I started learning how to punch and get a little more snap to the punches, and I started falling in love with it. And I forgot that I was a wrestler. But, but besides that, I mean, look, he should have some more oomph behind his punches than he doesn't. So when you get a guy like a guy that's trained, John, he's taking some shots, et cetera. Because John will come into that fight a bit. If John and Lesnar fought, John would come into that fight about 240. 235.
I think he's walking around that right now anyways. I think he cuts a lot to make 205.
Oh, I'm sure. So does Daniel. Daniel's like, man, going to go to church and find a new Lord because he knows he doesn't have to cut that way. Daniel hurts. We forget what happened to Daniel in the Olympics. Daniel's kidney shut down. He cut so much weight, his kidney shut down. They had to pull him from the Olympics because he had kidney failure. He almost killed himself trying to make that weight in the Olympics.
Yeah, he missed 205 in New York, too, with a towel trick.
Yeah, that's legit. He used the towel. Okay. Dude, anybody that does, come on now. Never mind. Move, next.
I'm friends with one of the commissioners, not commissioners, but one of the guys that worked for the commission at the New York show. And they had to hide Cormier from the doctors while he recovered himself enough to go see the doctor so he could pass the medical exam. That's crazy dangerous stuff that they're doing for him to make 205. I'm glad he went up to heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, but look, Kane's healthy. You're not going to fight Kane. I like Kane in that fight, maybe 8, 9 out of 10 fights. Cormier's a better wrestler, but the old Cain Velasquez, you can't deal with that intensity. He's going to keep throwing at you.
It's crazy. They're from the same gym, too, though. So does that fight ever happen?
Right. Yeah. I mean, they train together and stuff like that. I bet you that was the plan anyway. They had the two in there and stuff. But now that Cain, I don't know if he can come back or if he does, he does. But Daniel will stay up. So Daniel right now, I guarantee, is about 250. Not training is 250. Starts training, he'll be back down to about 235, 240 training. He may fight about 230, 235. That means that's a good fit weight for him. That's probably when I would think he's going to fight. Might get a little bit bigger. It doesn't hurt him to be slower, much quicker than Lesnar anyway. Lesnar's coming straight forward. It's not any secret. It's the way he wrestled. Hey, good for him. I respect the guy as a wrestler, but he comes north-south. He doesn't cut angles really well. He's not really slick on his feet. He kind of plods a little bit, so he's going to be right there for Daniel to hit and move and slide off.
If you fought Lesnar, would you beat him?
Would I beat him? I'd fight him right now, and I'd beat him right now. Of course, I'm speaking out my ass, but I believe it right now.
Well, you've got to probably be in pretty decent shape all the time. You coach, you're on the mat.
Look, the crazy thing is I had my knee replaced. I had my right knee replaced. So it's funny. I'm not going to say training, but I kind of work out more now than I did years ago, 5 years ago, just because I have to stay in shape, keep my legs, just kind of train myself back in shape and working with my team and stuff like that. But look, man, back in the day, Lesnar collegiately was a stud. Absolutely, man. There's no doubt he was a stud. There's I'm not going to talk I'm not talking the fact he was. Look at the credentials, and that was always the big thing we were always looking for, because that's when I was near the back half of my international career. I'm not the top of the backside of the mountain, so to speak. But then I remember Lesnar. Everybody's like, "Oh, Lesnar's going to come out. He's going to dominate the next gold medalist." I'm like, bullshit. He hasn't beaten me. There's Tully Thompson. There's Kerry McCoy. We had a decent lineup of heavyweights, American heavyweights, after Bruce Baumgartner retired. And they were talking some smack like Lesnar's going to come in here and step in and take care of business. Dude, no, he's not. I mean, we were getting all excited for him to come out because it would be embarrassing. He's good, but he's stiff. He comes straight at you. He doesn't cut angles. Look, he does okay, but at the elite level, come on now.
Yeah,
Big and strong. Look, I had the saying, hey, the bigger you are, the further you fly. You come at me hard, I'm going to throw you on your head.
Yeah, you've always...
The stronger you want to...
Go ahead. I was going to say, you always talk about levels of wrestling, and you're definitely a higher level than him. NCAAs doesn't mean shit compared to Olympics.
No, I mean, it's just more reactionary, more quick thinking and stuff like that, because freestyle wrestling's more wide open type of wrestling. Collegiate's a little bit more controlled, grind, grab. You can use that strength. You can be strong, hold the guy down, hold positions and stuff like that. Freestyle, they want constant flow, constant movement. And, as good as Brock was in the folk style, and he was very good collegiately, very good. National champion, a couple of times, man, absolutely, tons of respect. But that next step, man, I'd use an analogy, but I'm on the airways and I get fired for saying what I'm thinking. But it's just, look, we were excited because you know what? To go ahead and to beat his ass would have been perfect. In reality, it meant nothing, but in the game of public opinion, that would have been impressive. But in reality, thinking behind closed doors, so what? We're going to beat him. He isn't that good. He comes straight at you. He's strong. He's going to be physical. He's going to try to push her on the tie, drop levels. Here comes that double. He's so strong, he gets it. Oh, by the way, yeah, we're big guys too, and we know how to wrestle, so go ahead and hit that double on me. I'm going to roll you through, take you down, turn you a couple times, match is going to be over. Sorry. Now, that's probably a little bit of an exaggeration, of course, but I still like my chances against Brock Lesnar. If you ask me to fight him right now, I'd take that fight 7 days of the week and twice on Sunday.
Well, you heard it here first, Dana White. I got one more.
Let him fight Daniel and lose, and I'll fight him in any organization.
Let's fight him in
there we go, Bellator.
Ground Force.
Bellator would be the place for you guys to fight. They're getting all the older guys that fought back in the day to bring in the fans. That's your spot to get in Bellator.
Look, I'm not talking about any new career or anything else like that. You asked me about one guy I'd like to fight or guy I'd fight. Yeah, I'd fight him.
I would love to see that one.
By the way, Brock's going to talk his yang. I mean, that's fine. Don't care. But you know what? I could scratch him. Yes.
Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I thought we lost you for a second. It got real quiet. I got one more question about Brock Lesnar, and then we'll let you get out of here. Do you think that wrestling in the WWE gives him... We talked about ring rust a lot earlier, but do you think that takes some of the ring rust away from him since he's performing in front of people all the time? Or do you think it doesn't even matter because it's not even close to the same sport?
Man, I'm going to split the difference on it. Yeah, hey, the crowd and the moment, he'll be ready for the moment in terms of his emotions. He lives that stuff. I mean, look, I'll say that. I'll give him his props. In the moment. Look, he does it every Monday night or twice a week or whatever, 20, 30,000, whatever the shows they draw. In terms of what the moment, the fans and the adrenaline rush, he'll have that advantage because that's he sees it. That's his game. But in terms of the fight, like you go back to Khabib against Conor, when he's fresh, he's fine. The wrestling is decent. He stops a shot. But when all of a sudden you're relying on being tired and the reactionary of it won't be there. It just won't be there because you're not used to it. You can't tap into something you haven't used in 5 years or in 2 years. What's my go-to move in here? When I get tired, I usually hit this or I hit that. He doesn't have that. The old power bomb doesn't work. This is real. He's going to be okay. It depends on what his game plan would be. Like I said, I'd imagine you want to get your hands on Daniel, let him feel the power and stuff like that. But the crowd, I think, the fight, the WWE will have him ready for that, so to speak, in the moment, the press, everything that goes up into that. So I think he should be fine. I think Daniel's a big enough vet that he should be okay with that too. But I think Brock probably has an advantage. More big moments, gotcha. But in terms of let's get in the ring and fight, no, that ring rust hurts. You got to have it. If you got to, you get somebody that's fighting that much, it's going to hurt you. I mean, it just does. Especially when you weren't that good to begin with. I mean, you were very good. He won a title, but he's not that good. He's not that. Oh, he's not a Conor McGregor good. And look what happened to Conor.
Right.
He fought a really good guy, but he still had some rust. You could tell. My opinion.
Man, thank you very much. We just had Tom Erickson on, the big cat. We appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. We're going to keep you on the Rolodex.
My pleasure. Hopefully Dana and the boys don't get pissed off at me too much.
Dana won't care. He's got so much stuff to be mad at right now. He's got no time for anybody except for Khabib and Conor.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, man, you guys have a great day, and thanks a lot for having me on.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Sir.
Good interview.
Oh, yeah.
He's always good, man. I love that guy.
Oh, yeah. We should do like a UFC review all the time and call him up.
Yeah, he's good. He's very articulate. Breaks everything down very well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can tell he's an NCAA coach. Pretty good podcast we had there, Ray.
Oh, yeah, Tom Erickson, man. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, we didn't even make fun of Mickey once yet.
Oh, yeah? I got something for him.
All right, we'll have to wait for the Easter egg.
Okay.
All right, let's get out of here, Ray.
All right.
All right. Your kid looks like he's ready to go. You ready to go? Yeah.
Talk right there in the mic.
It's not plugged in.
Oh, I'll forget it then.
You ready to go, man?
God, don't put your mouth on that.
It's just like Mickey. God.
It's all Mickey's fault.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here.
All right, guys. Coming from Caveman Studios in North Buffalo, we are out of here.
Thank you guys. Another good, solid podcast.
Oh, yeah, we out of here.
There's a lot of editing on this podcast. I wish we had some smart nerd like Mickey Gaskins to edit this damn stuff.
No, we could pay him like 10 cents an hour.
That's way too much. Yeah.
A penny.
Penny a week. He's a security guard now or something at a nightclub. Yeah.
I mean, if you was causing trouble, would you want to start something when you got a guy looking like that over there?
No way. All right.
He look like he will bite somebody's head off. Like he's some kind of demon.
A big-lipped demon. All right, with that, we're out of here. Mickey, I love you, man. I miss you. Mickey doesn't train anymore either. He's just like you. Gone.
He kind of look like Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, shit. Right, yeah.
I heard Mickey ain't got no girlfriend.
Oh, no?
Nope.
Damn it. I heard your kid's got a girlfriend.
Yeah, he's 3 years old. He got a girlfriend.
I know. That's cool.
Mickey still don't got no girl.
He said, yeah. Oh, all right. We're out of here.